All right, welcome to the Lowdown, brought to you by Unibet. I'm Dev Sahni, and joining me today is the man who submitted the winning purse bid for the WBC World Heavyweight Championship clash between Tyson Fury, the champion, and Dillian Whyte, the challenger. It is, of course, Hall of Fame boxing promoter, the Queensberry Promotions head honcho, Frank Warren. How are you, Frank?
I'm all right, young man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Look, over to you. How did this all happen? You must be delighted.
Well, it happened because the WBC called a purse bid, and we had to respond to that and get behind our man, and that's what we were determined to do. And we got behind our man and won the purse bid. So I'm delighted. Tyson's over the moon, and I'm quite sure Dillian Whyte's delighted with the purse that he'd be getting.
Have you spoken to Tyson?
I spoke to him within like a couple of seconds of us winning a bid, and he was over the moon. He was so pleased, so pleased. So yeah, we're good. I mean, I'm really happy the way it's all panned out.
And that's it's a huge bid. It was $41 million, which, should the fight go ahead, I've been told is the highest purse bid ever. So big stuff.
Well, I hope it goes ahead. There's no reason why it shouldn't go ahead. I mean, it's great for both the boxers. It's great for the fans. It's what Tyson wanted, and it's certainly what Dillian Whyte's been asking for over 3 years. So we delivered it for him.
How big is this fight, Frank?
It's a very big fight. It's a significant fight. With all what's going on in the heavyweight division, it's the fight that leads to the unification. So it's an important fight for both of them. And I'm sure they're going to be at the top of their game. Plus, there's that little bonus in there of the 10% of the bid going to the winner. So, there's a lot to be gained there for the winner.
Is that something new? Because it's sort of been presented as a new thing, like, oh, the winner gets 10%. But did it always exist? How has that always been there?
I don't remember. I mean, it is there, but I've never been involved with a bid where that's happened. But it is there. It's there, and it is what it is. They were the terms of the bid.
How important was it for you to win this bid, considering, obviously Tyson is the franchise player across the Queensberry stable, across the top-ranked stable as well? How important was it for you to win this bid?
It's very important. We've been working hard on it. As you know, it's been postponed, I think, 3 or 4 times over the past few weeks. And we were determined we'd win it. I was talking to Bob Arum, and I told him the direction I wanted to go with it, and he agreed, and that's the way we went. And both of us are highly delighted. Fight be broadcast in America, obviously, live back to the States, and also be shown here on BT Box Office.
And was there any last-minute conversations? I was watching an interview with Eddie yesterday where he was talking about there's always a call that goes in just before the actual bid happens. Were there any last minute talks to
we got a call? We had a call together with Jeff Bentz, who is the lawyer for Dillian, and also George, my son, got a call from Ben Shalom, who was trying to do a deal. And for some reason, they didn't even bid. But I don't know what they were trying to do a deal with us for, and they never even put a bid in. But it was what it was. But when I say it was last minutes, it was like within sort of 25 minutes of the bid taking place. But by then, we were on our. We knew where we were going and what we intended to do, and we were very confident that our bid would be the winning. Would secure the fight, which it did by was it. $9 million. So,
yeah, there or thereabouts.
We made sure that we would win
it. That's interesting. You mentioned Ben Shalom there. Is there any more you can tell us about that? Obviously, Ben Shalom heads up Boxer, has the Sky Sports deal in the UK.
He phoned up. He said he was representing. They were representing Dillian, but we didn't. It was all too late. Maybe if we'd have spoke earlier, maybe we would have done something, but we didn't. So it was what it was, and it just, as I say, panned out as expected. Really, it was going to wind up being a purse bid, and obviously, whoever put the most money in was going to win it.
So, from your perspective, is that it now? This fight is going to happen next, or is there now a period of the purse bid's been sorted, but there might still be some ongoing talks about stepping aside and all of that, or has that all stopped now?
This fight's on. This fight's on, and we'll be revealing the date and the venue next week.
Can you give us any clues on the venue? Are we looking at the UK?
There'll be a stadium somewhere in the world.
You tease, Frank. There's been a lot of rumours out there. People are talking about Cardiff, talking about all sorts.
Really?
Don't want to give me anything.
No.
So tell me, the ongoing thing, which seems to be ongoing, is this whole split, this arbitration with Dillian Whyte. Is that still in the background of what's going on here, or what's your understanding of that?
Well, to be honest, it's nothing to do with us. That's between the WBC and them, and that's been ongoing for a while. And whether they sort it out or not, that's going to be up to them. But I should think Dillian now, I would hope, for his peace of mind with his fight going forward, I would hope he puts all that behind him now and gets on with a fight. He's got his fight and he's got a massive purse. If Matchroom had won, he'd be getting $2 million less.
In terms of Dillian Whyte, I haven't seen anything from him on social media. I haven't seen anything from Matchroom or Eddie Hearn on social media about this fight. What are your thoughts on that? Is there any particular reason you think why it's a bit quiet?
Not really. What can Matchroom can say on social media is that they lost the purse bid. I mean, there's nothing else they can say. What are they? They're not involved in it. They're out of the picture. As far as Dillian's concerned, I have no idea. I expect him to behave professionally and help him to promote a promotion the same way as we'll act as professionally towards him and give him the courtesy as a challenger that he deserves. And we will, we hope that we're going to all work together to make this promotion a success. He's getting paid a lot of money, and he's obviously got a tough fight. He's got there is a prize. I said the 10% that's there as well. So our bid put him in that position, and the best man's obviously going to win. And I hope and I believe that the best man's our man, Tyson. But the best man will win, and I expect him to help to promote it and make the event a success. The success story that it will be. Given
your relationship with Dillian Whyte, which has been colourful over the years, there's been back and forth in interviews, there's been songs that have been sung, there's been names that have been called or across social media. How confident are you that he's going to be very cooperative across this promotion, and how do you think you're going to get on with him?
Well, I'm hoping he'll be professional. We're working whether he likes it or not, whether I like it or not, we're working together on this promotion. And I hope, as I've just said, I don't want to make a big thing of it, I hope he's going to cooperate with us to help make it a success. If he doesn't, then obviously, that's not going to go down well with us or with the fans, I don't think. I think everybody, why wouldn't he want to make it to be a success? He's getting paid a substantial sum of money. So he's a professional fighter.
It's a rivalry, obviously, with Tyson and Dillian that's been building for a number of years. Are you expecting a lively build-up, some lively press conferences?
Look, I'm expecting, a press conference. Who knows with these two guys? I mean, they'll be fun, I would think, and they'll be entertaining. But what I am looking forward to is the fight. I'm looking forward to the two of them getting in the ring, because that's what's going to count at the end of the day. And I hope I'm quite sure we're going to have a full house in the venue. And I'm quite sure there's going to be a tremendous atmosphere. And these two guys are going to put a brilliant show on.
And is there much or any kind of co-promotional element to it? Obviously, Matchroom have represented Dillian Whyte's several fights of him. How does that all work?
Queensberry won the purse bid, and Top Ranker is our Tyson American promoters, and we work together, and it'll be a promotion in association with Top Rank. That's what it'll be.
So for boxing fans clamouring for a press conference with Tyson, Dillian, Frank, Bob and Eddie all sat up there, they might have to wait a bit longer.
Why would Eddie Hearn be there? He doesn't represent him. So I understand. I understood he was a free agent. If he does, then why was Ben Shalom calling me, saying he represented him? Anyway, who's ever there is going to be there. As long as the two fighters are there, that's all that matters. The rest of it is just, they're all side shows. The main event is the two guys, and the main event is what I'm looking forward to. I want to get these two together. I want to get this up and on sale. I want to promote the backside of it. I want to make it a successful event. We all do. Tyson's back, first time in nearly 4 years he's fought in this country, and it's going to be a great homecoming if we do it in this country.
Yeah, well, great homecoming if we do it over here. I think you nearly gave the game away, Frank. How far along did we get in conversations about the undisputed fight? Because the reports out there, I can only go by what I've read. The reports are it was all going to happen. It was going to be Fury versus Usyk, AJ Whyte. We're going to step aside, and that the 11th hour, everything changed. What can you tell us about this?
Well, it was nearly done, but unfortunately, it wasn't. I think. At this moment, it's pretty irrelevant because we are where we are. And I think, that conversation is for another time. Tyson was up for it, but in the end, some of the demands, financial demands that we'll be making to step aside were just impossible to accommodate.
And in terms of the fight itself now, it is Dillian Whyte next. That is the fight that we're going with. That's the fight we're going to see next. What does Tyson Fury need to be wary of from Dillian Whyte?
Tyson, he's a fun guy, and he's around fight time. There's no one better to be around than him. However, he doesn't underestimate anybody at all. He will train for that as he trains for every fight, and certainly he trained as hard as he could for fighting Deontay Wilder, Klitschko. He'll be in that. That's the shape he's going to be in. And I think he's a better fighter now than he ever was. If you look at his record, it's not like he fought, so regularly. He's had, spells in between. I think he's had one fight now, and nearly time this comes around in 2 years, I think it'd be. He's had one fight. So, he's got no miles on the clock. He'll be ready to go. And what he's made of. He can box. He's a superb boxer. He's got tremendous reflexes. He's got a great jab. He's got great footwork, hand speed. Got a magnificent chin. He can punch. So on the night, all those things I mentioned, he's got all of that going for him, and he can switch hit, everything going for him. So in that armory, I'm sure he's got the weapons he needs to do the business. But for Deontay, Deontay press conferences so much in the last couple. As far as Dillian's concerned, Dillian's, he's got to, it's a magnificent opportunity for him. And it's the one that he keeps banging on about, but we're delivering it for him now. It's there for him. He's going to have the platform to show if he's got what it takes to beat the number one heavyweight in the world and the number one heavyweight of his generation.
What dangers does he bring to Tyson Fury? What does he possess that Tyson needs to be cautious of heading into this fight?
Well, he shows heart, and he can punch. He's a good puncher, and when these big guys throwing bombs, anything can happen. We've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. And he's got all those. He's got all those in his armory, and he's got some good things, and he's got some things that he's got some chinks in that armory as well, which I'm sure Tyson will be looking to exploit.
In terms of the undercard, I know we're very, very early on at the moment, but is there anything you can tease us with regarding who could go on that undercard?
It'll be a great undercard. We're not even there yet with that. Look, we've got a great roster of fighters, and we'll be looking to make it a fantastic evening for the fans. But this fight doesn't even need an undercard. You could put it on just on its own. But there will be a good undercard, and it'll be entertaining. Your
final prediction: what's going to happen when this fight does happen? How do you see it playing out?
Well, as far as Tyson's concerned, I think he's head and shoulders above all the heavyweights. I think he's the best heavyweight of his generation. I expect him to beat Dillian Whyte. I expect Dillian Whyte to come with everything he's got. And I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining fight whilst it lasts. And I think Tyson will prevail.
In terms of the other huge fight in the heavyweight picture, Joshua versus Usyk, that rematch, do you expect that to happen now?
Well, I would think so. I mean, what was Joshua priced himself out when he was for the demands he was making. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back as far as Tyson was concerned. And I think he's got nowhere else to go. What else is he going to do? That's the fight out there for him. If he doesn't fight him, then Usyk will move on. And Joshua, I don't know what he'll do. There's only the titles are tied up. They're with Usyk and they're with Tyson. There's no one else has got the titles.
I guess the thinking is that he could possibly do with a fight beforehand, and that this step-aside scenario would have worked out quite well for him.
If he wants to fight beforehand, then fight Joe Joyce or Daniel Dubois.
Good fights.
Very good fights. Very, very good fights.
All right, Frank, anything you want to add before I let you go on this Saturday afternoon?
WBO have put out the fight between Zach Parker and Andrade, and we've got 10 days to negotiate that. If not, it'll go to purse bid. So that's great for Zach, and we'll be working hard on that one too.
Another purse bid, Frank.
Unless we agree terms, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But one thing's for sure, we'll get behind our man.
And in terms of Zach heading into that fight, I mean, Neil Marsh seems very confident. I've seen Zach very active on social media himself, calling on that fight. Andrade isn't normally the sort of guy that people call on to fight. So there's clearly a lot of confidence from this side.
I think Zach's a much, much better fighter than people have seen. And I think he'll relish the challenge. He's a big super middleweight. Andrade's coming up from middleweight. And he can punch, and and what people forget is he can also box. And I'll tell you what I've seen him has been a revelation. So I expect, I really do fancy he's got a good chance of beating Andrade. I really do.
And any updates regarding Anthony Yarde and that situation with the WBO World Light Heavyweight Championship?
What we're waiting for at the moment is for Joe Smith to see if he can make the unification fight. And if they can make that, then obviously he'll get the winner. If they can't, then Smith will have to make his mandatory against Anthony. So just a little bit of a waiting game, as it's been also for Daniel Dubois as well with his situation with Bryant. Bryant fights tonight. I shouldn't think he's going to slip up with the opponent that he's got in front of him. If he comes through that, I believe we're going to get into a mandatory for Bryant against Daniel.
Okay, so there's fighters in great positions. Obviously, this Fury-Whyte purse bid. You've got Yarde, Dubois, yeah. Joyce is number one with a couple of Joe, as you know, broke his arm, and he's jumping at the bit to get out. And I'm hoping he's going to be out sometime in late April. So we want to get him back in the ring, and it's exciting times. It's unfortunate, sometimes when you get guys in number one positions, they have to show a bit of patience. We did that with Ricky Hatton, Costa Zoo. We've done that over the years. Frank Bruno did that. I think he waited a long, long time before he got his shot at the title, one of the titles. And as far as you have to show that patience. And if you show the patience, hopefully you get rewarded. And it's all. I think now they're getting to a situation where these fights will take place. Well, another fighter showing a bit of patience right now is David Avanesian. He's got that position with the WBC. They ordered a fight with Ortiz. Ortiz appears to have gone another route. What's the latest with him?
Well, we're working on that at the moment. And again, we'll be pushing him, but he'll fight. He will be out sometime in March. And we're working on that. We're just waiting to see, again, what happens with the WBC. But in the meantime, we want to keep him busy. He's a tremendous fighter, and I'm delighted he's on board with us.
Yeah, it looks like he's in a great position as well there. So if he could be in big fights very, very soon, David Avanesian.
Well, he's world class. He can fight anybody. I mean, we tried to make the fight with Conor Ben, but I don't think that's ever going to happen in a million years. So we just press on. But he's world class. He can fight anybody and hold his own and probably, beat some of these guys, if not all of them. He's a quality fighter, tough guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Frank, well, when can we expect some news on this whole Fury-Whyte scenario? When are we going to get some press conferences? When they're going to be rolling around on the floor?
the details that we won't be there rolling on the floor and I'm getting cut or hurt. They'll be announced on Monday, the press conference, so that we can get ourselves organised and get the most out of it. And we look forward to getting them together.
Brilliant. Great stuff, Frank. And yeah, congratulations again. Thanks for your time this Saturday afternoon. And I'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon, mate. All the best.
All right.